Pickaxe.
Join us at patreon.com/castparty for a whole plethora of exclusive goodies. 5-day early access to every Cast Party episode, including Nocturne, ad-free episodes, behind-the-scenes info, exclusive bonus monthly one-shots, access to our community Discord, where our community plays D&D games together, has game nights, and hosts so much more, all for less than the price of a single cup of coffee per month. Aren't convinced? Try out a free trial. 7 days free to check out the content that we offer only exclusively on our Patreon. Patreon.com/castparty. Support your favorite D&D podcast, all while getting some awesome perks. Patreon.com/castparty. See you there, casting crew.
Welcome, cast and crew, back to Nocturne, A Curse of Strahd Tale. My name is Ryan McManus, and I will be your director for today. You can find me running the Cast Party socials at Cast Party D&D or on my personals at Ryan.McManus. And I am joined today by my fighting and spunky cast and crew. We got Vince.
Hi, my name is Vince Perino. I'm going to be playing Theren, the Man of Hope, seeking retribution. I'm ready to kill shit. Let's go.
Hey, Christian.
I'm playing Enzo. The dog Death Calls Fury is colored with crayon nowadays. And you can find me on my socials. There's Captain Carlson on Instagram. And I started doing a couple TikToks every now and again. So you can find me at the official COS on TikTok.
Finally. We got May.
Hello. My name is May. Excuse you? I think that it's understandable if you want to rush your intro so we could get through it faster, but I think that the listeners deserve to listen to mine for longer because they will enjoy it.
This is a fan favorite, Vince, so you should shut your mouth.
I'm doing this for the listeners. I am going to play Zielle for the listeners, and I'm going to slay in all meanings of the word for the listeners. If you want to see me slay other places, then I'm May LaFay on social media.
And back for his 17th intro, Jose.
Hi, my name is Jose, and I'm playing Alizzato, the best beard ever lucky. You can follow me on DM Jose G.
Whoa, goddamn.
That was
Nice.
good.
Okay, Betty.
I am Betty the Beholder on TikTok and Instagram, and I'm playing Dahlia, your constellation of melancholia. And I hope we kick Izek's ass.
Well, boy, howdy, do I have a poem for you all. Departing the Wachter House scuffle, you all went your separate ways to prepare yourself mentally for Izek's hopefully final day. Ollie communed with the past, while Dahlia, a close friend, Enzo, his family, and at the end, we saw Theren and Zielle meditating and snoozing. Zielle saw the sun over Avrosa, while Theren saw something more moving. A helpless Baron in the middle of the Black Lake. Outstretching for Theren, but Zielle, when she thought she finally had a break, heard his voice as Cade intruded, eclipsing the sun before finally concluding by cracking Baron. A new sword, but at what cost? Your actions must be swift or you'll experience even more loss. You all headed to the town square as the parade rode round, as Irina snuck right up to Zielle without a hint of a sound. But as the sun hit center stage, the burgomaster spoke. A valiant speech before lighting a torch. The sun engulfed, as did his ship, in an arcane explosion of purple and blue mist. The crowds erupted, but not how you'd hoped, as Izek emerged, ready for a show. Entangled and slashed, you all began your attack while giving Izek literally zero fucking chance to fight back. Ollie and Enzo switched bodies as a potion cart exploded while the others took their turns and their own attacks they unloaded. But hoping to blind Zielle, the fireworks nearly missed her before Theren toppled Izek as he exclaimed, "Sister." So, just a reminder for everybody from last time, Enzo and Theren, you're both blinded due to the firework explosion from the cart in the town square.
E.T. got blinded.
Now that we are... What was that? I'm sorry, Christian.
No, I said E.T. got blinded. It's my subtle way of sliding in the new nickname for us since it was the T-Bros. Now it's E.T.
right.
It's E.T. now, so...
Now, before we start at the very tippy top of the round, as Izek was shoved into a crowd behind him, bleeding from the mouth, his head cocked to the side, he saw the red hair of Irina flowing from her hood as she took out her rapier and began to push back some of the Burgomaster loyalists across the battlefield. But one thing I would like to note for Dahlia's sake. Dahlia, you notice that the crowds seem to shrink a little from your command. It took longer than you anticipated, given just the sheer amount of distractions amidst the town square. There will be no more environmental actions of the crowd attempting to swallow you all as these begin to slowly thin out. They're still rambunctious, they're still in the way, they are still causing disadvantage, though they seem a little more stationary. With reminders and all of that out of the way, with Izek on the pavement and you all beginning to slowly surround him, he is being slowly engulfed by this crowd of individuals. You hear the sound of footsteps from a horse, getting quicker and quicker and quicker as the rolling of wheels on these heavy carts begin to barrel through the crowds. You can see that there is a runaway float as the layer action for the town square. I need dex saves from... Yep, that's everybody.
Do we get to make those since we're blinded, or do we don't automatically fail that, right?
You automatically fail any ability checks that require sight.
Okay.
I will let you roll these saving throws, Theren and Enzo, at disadvantage.
All right.
Disadvantage, okay.
Amazing. Love these dice. 16 with disadvantage.
15.
6.
Golly, Vince.
10.
Everyone but Enzo, who surprisingly had disadvantage and still passed, is going to take 7 bludgeoning damage.
Oof.
And based on this line right here, I need you all to be pushed 5 feet away from this line as a cart is going from the northwest all the way down and just careens through these crowds of people. None for Enzo as he is able to swiftly dodge out of the way. That hearing is just too on point. He was able to pinpoint the direction.
I'm going to say, just for canon's sake, that it's 50% luck. Like he just heard something and took a step and it just happened to be the right direction.
We are to top of the order with Zielle, and we got Enzo on deck.
Is Izek prone, or is he just at disadvantage? Or
Izek is prone from your grovel.
Get him. Go get him.
Murder him.
He has not had another turn to get back onto his feet. So yes, he is currently prone.
Prone, and then ends its turn. So he would just have to get up. Okay, I don't want him to get up. So as I get knocked back by this cart a little further away from him, I am going to grab my holy symbol around my neck next to my little sun pendant and channel divinity nature's wrath on Izek. So these vines, they're covered in roses for Zielle Suni Flare, spring up to try and encircle him. And it is a strength or dex saving throw, your choice.
That's a 16.
It doesn't work. So the vines break apart and fall to the ground. And I'm gonna do nothing. I'm gonna stay where I am, eyes fixed on Izek and ready to make a run for it if he goes for Irina.
There's too many people surrounding Izek. The crowds are just too much. They begin to stomp out the vines before they can even get to full growth. We are over to Enzo. We have Ollie on deck.
With the blindness.
That'll be finished at the end of this turn.
I love that. So he's going to try and listen, feel around, but there's so much chaos as he's trying to figure out what direction Izek was in. And he doesn't want to just start swinging this massive sword without knowing exactly where he's swinging. So I think instead, at the beginning of my turn, I get to give somebody 2d6 hit points back. You know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to roll for it. If it's evens, it's Zielle. If it's odds, it's Theren. It's evens. And I said that's Zielle. So Zielle's going to get...
Because Theren is odd.
That's 6 plus... Wow, that's insane. That's max hit points back. So that's 12.
Yo, thanks, Enzo.
As this infinite symbol of a dragon sort of intertwining on itself is going to continue to grow more roots. And I think I'm going to flavor it as the hit points are returned to you. There's a spot somewhere where you start to see what look like tree roots emerging. They vanish back. I think I'm going to say your wrist for a moment. You see these tree roots sort of start to emerge and then they sink in and you can feel them start to heal you. And then he's just going to, at top volume, he's just going to call out, Sarah, help me! And that's going to be the end of my turn.
Zielle, just a note as well. That is temp HP. Slightly rejuvenated from a little magic on Enzo. We have Ollie with Dahlia on deck.
So I'm in the crowd. That means what? They were like pulling at me?
Yes, if you were to make an attack amongst the crowd, you have disadvantage, and it is considered rough terrain.
I'm assuming because I'm where I am right now, do I see Irina and potentially Dahlia and Enzo? That's kind of who I can really make out.
I think you'd be able to see, yeah. The others might be a little too tucked into the crowds along the border of the northern side to be able to get a real glimpse of them, but you do see Dahlia on the outskirts. Enzo's huddled by the fountain, shielding his eyes a little bit, giving him a nice little rub, and you just saw Irina on the outskirts, not even really attacking, more so rapier in hand, and is fending off, almost like a dog herding sheep.
Yeah, why not? I'm gonna go ahead and as the crowd is pulling me, I'm gonna pull a leaf from under my clothes. I'm going to rip it and sort of like shred it, and as I shred it, I'm gonna sprinkle it on top of my eyes, and I'm gonna wild shape into a warhorse.
Yes.
It's difficult terrain, you said, right?
Correct.
And then I am going to go out of the crowd. The warhorse movement is 60, so bring it down to 30.
It'll only be one movement because then you'll be out of the crowd. So you'll, instead of taking that 5 to the west to get out, it would count as 10. Then you have that rest of your 50.
Oh, perfect. Just fucking gallop like the biggest thing you've seen, just this vibrant burgundy horse.
What are you doing as you get into the middle of the parted sea of Valachians?
So what I'm doing is I saw just a carriage plummet through this entire crowd. And now I see that everybody's kind of spread out. So I see Irina. I transform it to a horse. So I stand in front of her to kind of block the path between her and Izek. And then also now I have a straight shot at Izek that I can just full horse dude up in that shit. But legitimately, I'm looking for clear ground so that if I need to go and trample something, I have enough room to do so. Or if Irina wishes to get on my back, I at least have a way of keeping her safe or getting her out of here or something like that.
All right, with the transformation into a beautiful, majestic warhorse out of the way, we have Dahlia with Theren on deck.
Okay, question, Ryan. I have a spell that's a bonus action and a cantrip that I want to use as my action. But I cannot do that, right? Or can I?
No, I'm cool with that.
Sick. Okay, cool. So
As long as it's not 2 leveled spells, that's all I care about.
So Dahlia is going to step back, seeing like so many things just happened in sequence. She's just going to take a second and put both of her hands almost in like a prayer pose, kind of in the center of her chest, and take a really big breath in. As she exhales, she, like the ends of her hair kind of lift. Even though her eyes are closed, you see that they start to glow a little bit, and I am casting Healing Word at 2nd level. Peace, love, and joy to my blind friend Theren. Zielle, I think, is more hurt. I think I saw Zielle get hurt. 5, 6 plus 4 is 10.
Woo!
10 HP back. And when she opens her eyes, she's like centered and back, kind of in it to win it, and is going to, with the energy she's kind of gathered at her chest, pull it back and push a holy word out to Izek. It's an attack roll on my end, and that's a 17. So it's 2d8, 8 total damage. So she kind of takes this deep breath, and I would say that, Zielle, you just feel the flowers from your vines may have like started to wilt, but kind of with this rush of white energy, they fluff back up a little bit as you're given a little bit of health. With that deep breath, I want to get Izek, I want to hit him in the shoulder so he turns around and faces Theren.
You can see that his gaze was towards you. Not you exactly, but just past you, to Irina fighting off the crowds as his head is knocked to the side as we move to Theren.
When I get knocked over to the side, I'm going to take a knee and try to just catch my bearings as I'm trying to like reach out and just feel the floor and just try to see if there's anybody near me. I'm going to feel a hand. Whoever can see that Baron formed in front of me. He just grabs my hand, and from it, the purple mist starts to flow up my arm and up my neck and over my head and down my body until it looks as if like it hardens really fast. And you see that armor that formed before. I'm casting Necrotic Shroud on myself.
Woo.
This is going to be a big one. Anybody within 10 feet has to make a charisma saving throw
Oh, God.
or be frightened from me.
That's me, too, right?
We have Zielle and Enzo in this as well for a charisma saving throw.
Along with Izek, and is it all the people around me?
It will be the few guards that are amongst you, as well as the crowd that you are currently residing in.
What do we have to beat?
Charisma saving throw of 14. If you fail, you will be frightened of me until the end of my next turn.
Okay, amazing. I'm terrified of you. I get my vision back just to see you turn into the Grim Reaper, basically.
Yeah, basically.
That is a 17 from Izek. However, everyone but one guard around you failed. Seeing this monstrosity almost emerge is terrified. They don't care about what's happening in the town square. They don't care about the explosion. They care about you, and they care about getting away from you quickly. Zielle, did you pass?
Yeah, I see Theren and I'm not afraid of him.
Nice. You have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls, while the source of your fear is within line of sight, and you can't willingly move closer.
Okay, amazing. I love that.
We are going to move to Izek. As his head is forcibly turned, looking directly at you, he sees you rubbing your eyes as you finally come to, your eyesight back to normal, and you can be aware of your surroundings once more. As he uses his 15 feet of movement to stand up, though he takes one knee and grasps that great axe in one hand. As he peers over his shoulder back at Irina, you hear him speak away from you, but you know it's directed towards you. You know, they never found Tanis's body. And I'll make sure they don't fucking find yours either. As he's going to take that great axe and swing up at you, going for your leg for a 16 to hit.
That hits.
It is going to be 12 slashing damage. Though as this comes and slashes, it embeds itself into your leg. He uses that leverage to stand up on both feet as he unlodges and is going for another swing.
Oh, dude, we're about to wreck this fucking guy.
Stop, Ryan.
Theren, how about you roll me a D100 for a crit from Izek?
Oh my God. This is personal.
It's been personal.
This is gonna get real spicy.
84.
I am upset.
Theren, you feel that blade embed itself into your calf, and as he pulls it out, you look down to see the wound through your armor, piercing through that mist like it sliced directly through Baron as it explodes off of your leg. And before you even know it, he comes swinging directly for your ribs. You are surprised until the end of your next turn.
That sucks.
Now, what is surprise?
Anything will just have advantage on you for being surprised. I will say you can't move. You can't move or take an action on your first turn of combat. You can't take a reaction, so I'm going to take away your reaction until the end of your next turn.
You mother... fuck you, Izek!
And if he were to make another attack on you before the end of your next turn, which is not going to happen because it's his next turn, anything would have advantage on you. Now, to reiterate my crit rules, we do one full die plus an extra die. The sad part is Izek rolls 2 dice.
What the fuck?
That could have been so much worse. Still bad. Though, as this embeds into your rib cage, you're going to take 22 slashing damage.
Yikes.
After he lets go of that blade and gets hit in the side, you just see Theren fall right to the ground with his hand just slowly falling off of Izek.
Wait, are you down?
I'm down.
Oh, not again.
It's good.
No.
Guys, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Enzo, your frightened condition will be gone, given that the necrotic shroud fades. Though, as that axe is lodged in Theron's rib cage, almost seems to amplify him and hype him up even more.
Oh no.
As
Fuck.
Izek unlodges from the rib cage, and Izek's ferocity If Izek brings someone to 0 HP, he gets another attack.
No.
What is wrong with you?
Hey, guys.
Fuck.
Seeing Theren fall, the only thing in front of his eyesight is Zielle,
No.
as he's going to move a step. Now, it is not a full extra action. It is only 1 extra attack for bringing Theren down to 0. So this one, no,
Is it a crit?
Oh, God.
Is it a natural 20?
dead ass, another natural 20.
Oh, it was?
No.
Oh yeah,
He just crit on you.
No, hold on.
Please.
I can use my reaction to attempt to disarm him with my fan shield.
yes you can.
It requires an athletics check against his strength or dex. 21.
He got a 6.
Let's go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to use this? I have 2 less AC now until I use the bonus action to open again, but
Right.
There's just like a counter? That's amazing. Oh my god.
You get the disarm off before that crit rolls through. So we will disregard the D100. He is now currently disarmed. I'll let you throw his axe about like 10 feet away.
go fetch. Strahd's dog.
Glaring into you, he doesn't even have enough movement from him having to get up from prone to even try to get it. Circling Zielle, he is technically 5 feet away from his great axe. I will not allow him to pick it up this turn. And we are going to go to the top of the round with our layer action.
Oh,
Don't do
no.
Bring
this.
it on.
As Izek begins to run around Zielle, you hear creaking. The burning of the sun itself is just a little too much, as you can hear the cracking of wood. The enormous ball of fire is being brought upon Vallaki indeed, as the sun breaks from its pole 10 feet up and is now going to be careening through the crowd.
Dude, that's
Not
wild.
Indiana Jones.
I need dex saves from Enzo, Dahlia, and Alizzato.
Let's go with them horse stats.
Read him and wheat, brother. That's a natural 2-0.
I
Attaboy.
thought you were just going to say 2. I was like,
I also thought too.
That's a natural 2, dude.
Got a
Enzo.
natural fucking
Yeah.
2, baby.
Natural 20 as well.
No fucking way.
I got not a natural, but I got a 22.
Jesus
Let's go.
Christ, you
Team.
guys. You guys are avoiding the bludgeoning damage. You are going to take residual fire damage just from it passing by you, but not the full amount. That is only 4 fire damage.
Who took the damage again? I'm sorry.
That'll be all 3 of you. All 3 of you, but it was only halved.
Okay.
And you guys avoided the bludgeoning damage by being able to swiftly dodge out of the way, as you are able to see this enormous ball of wicker and flame begin to traverse south through the town square, careen into a shop along the outskirts of the town square.
oh, God, we've really destroyed this town.
Zielle, you are up. We got Enzo on deck.
Yep, don't have time to think about that. I am going to do a little half pirouette around and bring down my shuttle in a slash across his back as he's reaching for his weapon. That's lovely. Does a 24 hit, Izek?
God damn, it does.
Oh, that's great. I think I will also light it up with a little bit of Divine Smite as well. 13 damage. And then I'm gonna bring it up in another slash because I get 2 attacks. Just threw my dice, sorry. I got too excited about kicking Isaac's ass. Does an 18 hit?
Yes, it does.
Oh, cool. 6 more damage as I slice him again. And then I will use my bonus action to whoosh, open my fan shield so I have my 2 AC back.
Standing as a wall between a demon and Theren, unconscious behind you, you get 2 fantastic slashes on him, one imbued with the strength of Sunni, as we move to Enzo with Alizzato on deck.
First things first, Enzo, who can finally see and is not scared, watches Zielle deliver these 2 intense blows, sees that divine energy explode, and he's okay, great, this is the time. As he starts to move in from the crowd, if you have a really keen eye, see a very sleek, black, furry form dart between some people's legs as it sprints up to where Enzo is. And for a moment, as he's moving towards Izek, it's going to run up on his shoulder and just look out, and its eyes like glow like a pure white for a second before I do anything with that. I'm gonna recklessly attack again. And that is, can I take it back? Because I crit on the first one. So if my normal dice, I deal 2d6 plus 3.
So you're going to do an immediate 12, and then you're going to roll an extra 2d6. The modifier stays the same, doesn't double or anything.
Great. 24 damage with that hit.
Y'all gotta chill.
As this cat hops up on his shoulder, it's just a devastating blow. As he lands this massive, it's just like a giant, it looks like the arm of like a paper cutter, because it's just a massive rectangle of steel. As it lands in his shoulder, twists it back out. So this cat sitting on my shoulder is going to launch itself at Izek. It transforms, grows in size, much larger than the small house cat that it was. Reptilian dragon-esque creature. It seems to have like a set of wings on its back, and it's got these paws. It's got 2 sets of 2 eyes, so 4 eyes total that are glowing with a bright white. Tail turns again into sort of like a reptilian tail. It jumps out, it's got these massive claws out, and it's going to try and take a swipe. I don't think that's going to. Does a 14 hit?
It does not, sadly.
Okay, and then does a 23.
Absolutely.
Amazing. 9 damage as this claw rakes down in front of his face. This creature lands at his feet and circles back around, staying in front of Enzo in a very protective, but still maintaining that feline energy despite its dragon appearance. And that will be the end of my turn.
Izek's back is to you all, and in that moment where he turned around, he has taken a bloody beating. He has slashes across his back from 2 shoulder swings, a large greatsword, and now a almost spectral, wispy feline scratching at his calf. Enough so to take him down to 1 knee as he begins to huff and puff. They won't find your bodies because I'll burn them! As he's using a legendary action at the end of his turn, the last one he has available, as that demon arm outstretches, the purple and blue flames encapsulating his arm protrude out in a 15-foot cone, and I need dexterity saving throws from Zielle. Enzo, I also need a dex save from you. And Theren, you will take 1 death save.
Yeah.
Nat 20! It's a nat 20! It's a little kraken! I got a nat 20!
It's a natural 20 again.
Zielle, I'm here to bargain with you.
Oh.
Hate it.
Don't do it.
Hate it.
Oh, devil's deal. Go on.
I will rescind Theron's death save
Yes, I'll take it.
if you take his damage.
I'll take it.
Wow. Let's go, dude. Oh, let's fucking go, Zielle.
I use my nat 20 to like shield Theren with my body.
What's that damage though, Ryan?
So for the people who saved, you're only taking 5. If you failed, it's 10. Zielle will take 15. 5 for her save, 10 for Theren.
Damn.
I take 3 damage because I had 12 temporary hit points. Ha!
There you go. Oh, I forgot about the 10
Oh,
HP.
baby.
Yeah.
I got you, all right?
That's
Listen.
why she was so quick.
I need you to explain this for us, Zielle. As he protrudes his arm out, full palm, the demon fingers log and singeing as this cone of fire erupts from his hand.
In that split second, like I realize something is happening, something bad, and I just turn and like throw my body to like cover Theren's so that it blocks as much as it can.
All right, we are to Alizzato, and we have Dahlia on deck.
From my short experience with Dahlia, does Dahlia seem like she's fixed on Theren?
Dahlia, as soon as Theren took those 2 hits, has been locked on him since. That's where she's going next. Easy to identify that.
All right. Will you allow me to bonus action exit my wild shape, but then do an action spell?
Yeah, absolutely.
Any level spell or only cantrip?
No, any level.
Oh, okay. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, that's just you canceling, baby. That's easy peasy.
I'm gonna come around and trot next to Dahlia. Bonus action, come out of my wild shape. And then I'm gonna take these yellow sort of energy strips out of the leaves that I ripped from my fingertips. And I'm going to point right past Zielle, right past Enzo, into Izek, and I'm going to cast Earthbind at 2nd level.
Oh.
So I need a strength saving throw from Izek.
Oh my god, that's a natural 1.
Let's go.
Finally.
Pathetic.
Speed becomes 0 and is a concentration for 1 minute. And it is just like the ground ruptures underneath him, and then these yellow tendrils come up, grab his arms, and then just yank him down onto the ground.
As he is pulled to the ground, all of his appendages seem to be stuck within these vines and roots. He looks back to see where the source is coming from. And Alizzato, I have a question for you. What color are your eyes right now?
Ooh. The eyes right now, a red and a single green.
As he peers back over his shoulder, you with your power stance, after just casting this spell, as if your elemental magic is looming around you, he knows exactly where this is coming from and pinpoints it to a T. As he takes note of your eyes, Alizzato, and you can see a slight moment of recognition as he looks towards the right side of your face. And it's almost like you can read his lips, though you can't even hear him speak. Alizzato would be so disappointed.
Full feral. As I'm holding it down, it is like unrecognizable, gritted teeth, sharp, just looking at his direction. And it's like, yeah, it's like an animal waiting to just be let off the leash.
Dahlia! Then we have Theren on deck.
Holy shit. Okay. Seeing Zielle topple over, Theren protect him that blast, as Alizzato passes her, she's gonna kind of snake along with him. When he stops, she's gonna go around the back of the crowd to get to Theren. Dahlia comes right in and is gonna put her hand, like her arm, under his torso, and is just gonna put a single finger right to the middle of his forehead, and she says, "You can't leave yet, friend." And she's gonna cast Cure Wounds on Theren. And I am casting this at 3rd level. This is my highest Cure Wounds.
Oh.
21 points of healing.
Oh my god!
She taps you on the forehead, and there is a moment in the chaos of this battle where it's just like, and everything kind of goes silent in this bubble around the two of us. And her eyes glow that white. As you come back to consciousness, your eyes are also glowing white. And once you're back, you're kind of back into yourself. But just that shared moment of magic as she brings you back to consciousness.
That breath entering your lungs again as you're able to open your eyes. Dahlia, that twinge right behind your ear. That's it, Moonsy.
Theren, when you like open your eyes and see Dahlia, she's beaming, but her eyes are still glazed over white. And you don't know what she's beaming at, but she's not really here right now. But you're back. And that's what matters. As she hears this voice in her head, she just starts to like laugh and chuckle to herself, looks from you, Theren, up to the sky, and stands and and steps back as she's cackling. So kind of unintentionally, but she's gonna move all the way back to the fountain, sit on the fountain, put her hands in the water, and she's just looking at the sky, giggling.
Theren.
Dahlia, when you walk away, you could see Theren just kind of roll over onto his belly, push himself up onto one knee, stare at you for a moment. You get that sense of respect from him. I start to slowly stand up. I grab a small pebble on the ground as I get up, and I start to turn towards Izek. You try, and you try, and you knock me down continuously. I will not stop. And I throw the pebble 10 feet to the right of him, just outside of range of everybody, and I'm casting Shatter. And as that pebble travels in the air, you could see a small streak behind it. It lets off a little spark and just explodes. and I need him to make a Constitution saving throw, DC 14.
21.
21?
20. It still takes damage, though.
6 thunder damage.
As that pebble bursts, the trajectory is just a little off. Same as last time. You're trying to flick these stones precisely, but the circumstances in which you are throwing them are just a little too much. Coming to again and having your senses back with you, weren't able to properly throw that the best you could.
Zielle, you're just gonna feel my hand on your shoulder as I just walk right by you, just to let you know that I'm there and I'm up, and I'm gonna walk right next to him, and that will be the end of my turn.
We are to Izek. He is currently grasped by roots. He is able to reach down and pick up his great axe, though he cannot move. Though upon doing so, he rips one root out and rips the other so his arms are free so he can two-hand and come swinging down overhead for a strike at Zielle.
You can try.
22 to hit.
Barely.
7 slashing damage. He comes down, is able to find that kink in your armor just between your collarbone, enough to get your neck slightly as it just slashes. It isn't able to embed itself in there, but it is enough to hurt. As he comes back down with that swing, you know exactly where that second attack is going. Theren stepped up, and we're going one more time. Theren, that's a 25 to hit.
What?
God.
Fuck you, Izek.
Go back to sleep, Theren. Fuck.
That's only 16 slashing damage.
Only.
As he whirlwinds this axe across and lodges it in the opposite rib, he's going to use his reaction, as Theren did not go down to 0 HP yet. He's going to take his demon arm. You can see it begin to flare up, the blue and purple, as it trails down from his shoulder and up on his wrist and begins to snake down the handle of his great axe before it begins to singe and burn that wound that is stuck directly deep in your side. After a successful hit, he can use Engulf on his weapon to deal an extra 2d4 damage. And I believe you only have 5 HP left.
Oh.
Hey, Ryan!
You're back down, aren't you? So he gets an extra attack, doesn't he?
Yeah, so he gets another one.
It depends. It depends on when he gets here.
Dice roll 1 is a 2.
Okay.
Dice roll 2 is a 4.
He's happy. I saw the smile on his face before he said it.
As soon as the fire wrapped, I was like, he's going down. I don't know how, but this is not going to end well.
All right, bring on that extra attack.
As that wound is nearly cauterized, he pulls out as your right rib, burned, singed, and broken as you fall to your knees. And with that ferocity, that axe still engulfed, he looks over his shoulder and peers over to Alizzato. He is going to barrel through Enzo and Zielle.
Now, hang on a minute.
You both may take opportunity attacks because I believe you both have your reactions if you would like to use it.
Okay, well, I suppose a 23 will hit, so let me roll damage.
It will
And I
indeed.
suppose a 21 will hit, so I shall also deal damage.
It will indeed.
Give him a little 5
Don't
slash.
you kill him.
Shut the fuck up there, and I'm gonna kill him if I get a chance.
That's 11 from me.
It's almost like you two take your swings at the same exact time as he barrels through you, Aragorn pushing open the double doors as he beelines it straight for Alizzato, sensing that recognition in his eyes and that the two of you are the ones supporting this group. He is now next to Dahlia and Alizzato as he's going to take one great axe swing upon our boy Ali for a 19 to hit.
Barely, bro. Yeah, that hits. That hits.
This isn't even a swing at you, Alizzato. This is more so him running and taking there's almost a spear-like edge to the tip of his great axe as he runs and just stabs you in the stomach with it so he can get nice, close, and personal to you. And you can tell he is focusing on one eye in particular You could have just learned the first time around. That is 9 slashing damage.
All right.
And because his weapon is still engulfed, that is 3 extra fire damage.
Dope.
You can see, though, that at the end of his turn, the fire begins to fade upon his weapon. He is huffing and puffing as we move to Zielle with Enzo on deck.
Exasperated sigh, turn away from where Izek is towards Theren. I will lean down and I will grab his face between my hands. I am going to lay on hands, heal him for 25 hit points. And when he comes to and he wakes up with his face between my hands, I'm going to say, "You idiot, take care of yourself." Kind of help push him up.
There's still just the intensity in his face. It like does not register anything you're saying.
Oh my god. I suppose I will just move in so we're flanking Izek again, so I'll be right behind him.
Izek takes a moment to look back, see you approach, and see Theren begin to once again start to roll around.
3rd time's a charm.
And gain his composure as he looks back to you, Alizzato. But you can tell his eyesight was on you, but keeps flickering over to Irina on the outskirts of the battle. Out of curiosity and confusion, we are to Enzo with Alizzato on deck.
Enzo, who has just gotten through delivering this massive hit, is going to turn, move up as quickly as we can to Izek, and we're going to try and hit him in the face. We're going to recklessly attack. 17.
Yes, sir.
11 damage. And then my friend is going to try to do something fun and fantastic. So I'm aiming for his ankles, but I think because I'm so tall, it's hard to get that low. But then this sort of like dragon-like feline creature with its like 2 pairs of wings and 2 sets of eyes comes sprawling around, its claws sort of skidding on the cobblestone as it comes around and starts to swipe. That'll hit. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 5. It's going to try and swipe with the other hand as well. But I don't think that's going to hit because that's going to be an 11.
That will miss.
As it's skidding on the cobblestone, one of those claws just manages to catch in the hamstring and rip through some of that flesh, but the other one slips out from underneath it.
Alizzato, you are up, and we have Dahlia on deck.
My God, I didn't realize how much of a beast Izek was until this fight. This is insane.
Yeah. When Izek gets closer, I'm just going to, if he still has, let's just say, the blade and is bringing it out, then I'm just going to like look at him right in the eyes, blink, and both eyes go green.
You stubborn brute. This land wants to claim you for your bloodlust, and you owe me a life.
And I'm gonna rip a leaf and cast Flame Blade at 3rd level. So as I spread my fingers, a Flame Blade rushes past, and then I'm just going to attack him with it. 25, 18 plus 7.
Oh, yes, it does.
6 plus 3 plus 5, so 14 fire damage as I pierce Izek like in the upper shoulder.
You know Izek all too well. You know his demon arm, his fire capabilities, though this one seems to even surprise him as your flame blade begins to protrude and stab into his shoulder. You can see even he reaches up with his demon arm and grasps it as if you seem like you did your full damage off of that. Fire against fire, but you fan the flames harder. Alizzato's at the end of your turn.
Yeah, I think so.
At the end of your turn, as he is stabbed, you can see he is huffing and puffing. The grunts are getting to him. He is out of breath, bloodied, scarred, and singed. Though even through these heavy, heavy breaths, you still see him peering off to the side, and almost a hopeful, childlike smile comes over his face, just watching Irina go about this battle. We are to Dahlia with Theren on deck.
Dahlia has stayed in this like giddy state and is watching him as he's getting bodied by her friends right now. Clocks that he's looking at Irina. She's gonna stand and reach around his back, touch a finger, the same finger that brought Theren back, on the middle of his back. And I need a Constitution save from him, please. A 15.
13.
Fuck, yes! Okay, thank you. Woo! Okay, awesome. That's an inflict wounds.
Let's go. Let's go.
As she touches his back, let me roll for damage here. I'm so excited. I forgot what a D10 looked like. 9 to 15, 21, 28.
Stop going up with the number. God damn.
You just did 28 damage?
28 damage.
Oh my God.
She reaches around and kind of stands next to him, almost kind of whispering in his ear, clocking that he's looking at Irina. And as she touches him, where that same white light radiated out from Theron's forehead, a black mist smoke begins to like burn into his back as she just continues placing her entire hand on his back. And where she is touching him, his skin is melting almost. It's turning into like black sludge or ichor. She's not burning her handprint into him. She is rotting her handprint into him. Don't worry. We will make sure he finds your body. And as she goes down, her eyes go black. Full opposite of what you've seen her do before. And she's gonna push him into Alizzato, push him onto the sword so it kind of pierces him a little harder. And as she pulls her hand back, black, rotten sinew and muscle tissue pull back with her hand.
As he is pushed closer into Alizzato, it's almost intimate, Ali, the hatred between you two, as the eyes are just glaring into you with just a flicker over to Irina every once in a while, even through the groans as Dahlia begins to push you deeper and deeper. It's almost like the rot itself is seeping into his spine, crawling up his bones and into his ribcage. He can feel it from the inside as he begins to groan. The only thing keeping him on his feet right now is being assisted by Ali's sword protruding from inside of him, as we are set up for Theron's turn.
I'm again rolling over on the ground, and I'm grabbing the hilt of Baron. As I get up, I aim it towards him as I start running right by everybody, aiming the tip of the sword right to his belly.
You were prone and you still had enough, just enough, to get face to face with Izek. Theren, on whatever attack roll you do have, you are flanked by Dahlia. You will have advantage.
23 to hit.
You have, just as last time, a very specific number to hit on this die roll.
Do it this time.
It is within your greatsword range, and I am praying.
Oh, don't put Theren down again.
Give me the redemption. Give Theren the redemption. Give Tanis the redemption.
Come on, baby.
10.
Just as the first fight, he had 3 HP left.
Oh my God.
Theren, Izek is yours. His knees are shaking as Alizzato has a sword made of near pure fire and leaves sticking into his shoulder, almost keeping him in place. As his back is arched, as you can even see the rot through his singed and bloodied shirt, this black root-like ichor slowly growing up his body, circling around his spine and snaking out.
Enzo and Zielle, you two are facing him. His back is to you. Theren bursts through the two of you, just pushes you aside. You just see this sword go into his back. It bursts through. I grab his shoulder as I have the sword in his back. I told you, I never stop. Zielle and Enzo, again, you can see from my hand, it starts to glow red. It slowly goes down the sword, and you can see the sword almost like organic material. It expands with this little red ball slowly going down all the way until it goes inside, and you could see the glow emanating from inside of Izek's stomach. It gets brighter and brighter, and it starts to singe away some of the skin and tissue and his clothing, everything in that area. Right before it goes off, Zielle, you get a feeling of what this is. Tanis sends his regards. It explodes with a wrathful smite.
Before he can even get words out to reply to you, the eruption goes off. An eruption started this mess, and an eruption finished it. He doesn't have time to say a single thing because in an instant, he is nearly blown to pieces. His one arm up, grasping the sword, as your sword impacting him from behind nearly lifted him off his feet. And that explosion goes off. That purple mist surrounding your sword almost has a tinge of red to it as that wrathful smite hits. All that's left on the floor is his body torn in two. And those around you, you can see that his one demon arm was holding that sword, trying to stop it from protruding any further. Though clutched, but now limp in his lifeless hand, is a burnt and bloodied doll, encapsulating Irina's features perfectly. As we are out of initiative.
Do I notice that doll?
Everyone would, as you are all surrounding Izek for his final moment.
I want to snag that doll from his hand. You all see Theren just start walking towards that burning sun. And he goes right next to the blaze and throws it in.
The sun stopped after crashing into a nearby store, though it just sits idle and ablaze. You're able to walk through this sea of people that heard the eruption and saw what happened. Things seem to be coming to a standstill. And the people almost watch you as you walk over to that blaze and underhand toss the doll inside. You see it begin to spark the hair first before it takes over the entirety of the doll as it melts among the sun. And the only thing that seemingly breaks the quiet that has come over this crowd after that blast rings throughout the town square is the echoing of high-heeled boots amongst the cobblestone as they then slowly begin to ascend the stairs in the middle of the square. You all see Fiona Wachter take the stage, her dark robes streaked in soot and blood. Around her, the citizens of Vlaki have halted, some in silent hope, but others wary distrust. As she gazes over the crowd and begins to speak, her voice resonating through the silent square. My fellow citizens of Vlaki, today the old chains that bound us have been shattered, and a new dawn rises. Not in fear, not in oppression, but in freedom. For too long you have suffered under a leader who hid behind a smiling mask. These streets bear scars of our fight, but they also bear the proof of your courage, your strength, your will to shine light upon Barovia once more. The blood we shed was not in vain. It was the price for a brighter tomorrow, and you, the people, have paid it in full. To those who still harbor doubts, I say this. Give time. Give us a chance to heal the wounds of this past week, past year, past decade. Together we will transform Vlaki into what it was always meant to be. A beacon of hope, beaming like the sun. And I come to bring you just that.
I would like to use my talisman to make a cone of sunlight come down, like, in the middle of the square, using the necklace, like, as she's saying this, like, because probably most of these people, I don't know if people have even ever seen sunlight
never seen nor felt the sun.
I'll hold it up so like everyone can see the symbol of the sun and then do it. Come feel it. Come touch the sunlight. Come look at it. This is your future.
As those words leave her lips, Zielle, you walk out into the open space of the town square, arm held high, clasping that medallion. As the sun begins to protrude around you in a bubble. Theren, this is something you haven't felt in weeks. This is pure sunlight. Enzo and Alizzato, this is a sensation that you have never felt before. It is a glowing, radiant sensation that fills all of you with the warmth of the sun. As there are oohs and ahs, some gasp at the act that Zielle is undergoing in the middle of the town square, a little startled. Though others begin to wander into the bubble of sunlight. Some are wary and reach out just a finger and grace the entryway of the sunlight before looking at their open palm and walking through the curtain. Fiona continues from the stage as a smile comes over her face, seeing you in the middle of the town square. A prophecy foretold, and a prophecy fulfilled. The blood of the outsider has brought a new age upon Vallaki, and for the first time in centuries, I give you the sun. And for today, that is a wrap.
That's so beautiful.
Oh my god, I got to feel the sunlight. That makes me so happy.
Wow, thank you all. Thank you all for our first BBEG fight. Our first major arc completed, almost, I guess. We're still in Vallaki, but Vallaki's about to come to a close here. I want to thank you all for listening so much. We're almost on our 30th episode. Isn't that crazy?
I want to do a BTS on this right now.
I know, we're so close.
Oh.
But no, I can't thank you all enough for being here. I can't thank you all enough for listening. And we will see you in 2 weeks to see what lies on the other end of this leadership in Vallaki. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Izek.
Bye.
God, I wish I could draw.